All right, talking about stealing to Dr. Maltern. What up, Stephen Maltern? It's your pal Earl. How the heck are you? You're a G.I. Joe cartoon. I used to actually adore those little G.I. Joe cartoons. But even as a kid, I thought the whole like moralistic lessons were kind of laughable. You could teach somebody the right and wrongs of something. Why it's bad to steal, but why is it bad to steal? You stole Jimmy's bike. Look how sad Jimmy felt. You're like, well, Jimmy has no idea how sad I felt watching him have a bike that I couldn't get. A bike that I couldn't afford, my parents couldn't afford. Um, you know, that where like, that's where like the Buddhists come around with like, well then if you see something that you want and it makes you feel bad when you see that you want it, then don't want it. Like you can try to teach somebody like, hey, don't want things that you can't have. Or what you want actually is the ability to have that. So you need to strive to become in a position to earn that. Or you need to strive to be in a position where you could steal that and not get caught. Actually, Buddhists don't teach you that. I may have read that in a different book. But it's true. Like someone like Louis L'Amour said that every man's hand is raised against a thief. But is every man's hand raised to support someone who's not a thief? And is every man's hand raised against you if they don't know it's you? I mean, isn't that the fundamental, one of the fundamental basics of thievery is not getting caught? And the whole idea of like, that's like a measure of intelligence and skill. Or if getting caught could be factored in as eventual, then you just factor in who gets caught. You're working with a team of people. You get caught one out of every certain amount of times, then that person gets caught. That person does minimal amount of time in jail. They still get their money when they come out, and they still get the money you made while they were in jail. Here's your cut. And the next time someone walks out of the store with like a double pocket full of razor blades that go for something insane, for 3 of them, someone else holds that stuff. Then they do it till they get caught. It might be years before you're the one that actually has to go spend some time in jail for theft. Yeah, like each side sees the other as chumps. And here's the thing that like when I did security work and loss prevention, the more you do it, especially in certain communities, the more you start seeing the people who do it. And then the more you work at other places, especially new places just open. Like a new place that just opens and you're working there, like you'll suddenly see it's like a high school reunion. They're all hoping they're going to come into a place where no one recognizes them, in a place where a whole bunch of people are just getting their job. They're still worried about working the register and understanding the inventory and stuff like that. And meanwhile, their inventory is walking right out the door. And then they see me, and this is where one of the loss prevention guys said, he's like, I just look them right in the eye and smile at them. I'm like, go ahead and try it. I don't even need you to stop you at the door because I owned you, and I own you now. I thought that was pretty hilarious because that actually does work. I just hadn't thought of it that way. So it's like it's not wrong to steal. Like the whole idea of like, it's just like it's not wrong to work for a living and earn. What you have. I'm sure they look at it the exact same way. They're earning what they have, and they run a risk as well. And they put in labor, thought, and in certain cases, ingenuity. Into their work. So basically all you could do is teach them that it's not wrong to steal, it's teach them it's wrong to steal from where you're at. And as everyone gets better and better at it, that reminds me of a series of books called like The Stainless Steel Rat. As society closes down these as you go from like a barn where there's grain inside your barn and rats could just come in and out of the cracks in between the doors and the walls. As society becomes more and more well structured, those crevices and cracks in the walls become smaller and smaller to where a regular rat can't make it through. A stainless steel rat can, though. So you have to become more and more sophisticated and talented. You can't just go in there and grab a bunch of Mach 3 razors and shove them in your pocket. So I don't know. I don't think G.I. Joe could teach you not to steal. I think it depends on your moral compass. I think that it's wrong to steal. I think that I would be ashamed to take something that I couldn't earn. I'd be ashamed to work someplace that paid me the amount of money that made it hard for me to buy what I wanted, the very little things that I want. I imagine somebody who steals feels the exact same way. They'd be ashamed to show up and like do my job, to dig ditches for YouTube. They feel that people that will work 6 months to buy a boat that they could take in one night after a week of planning, let's say, yeah, they're ashamed of me, I'm ashamed of them. It's just different moral compasses. Oh, a week of planning. That reminded me of another series of books called, I think if I remember, one of the titles was called like The Golden Eagle Score. I think it was it's a series of books about stealing. And that one was stealing coins from a coin convention that had no security because no one thought to really steal from coin collectors before. One of the books stole military payroll because the military didn't really have any sense of security for their payroll, because once it was on the base, they figured it was surrounded by the military, so why should they really have to, other than putting it in a safe, why should they really have to protect it once it's there? So they learned the error of their ways. All right, my thoughts on stealing: I think it's wrong. I'm sure the people who do it think it's right. What really just matters is who's better at keeping things from getting stolen, and who's better at stealing. Kilo wants to steal that frog.